Digital Dominoes.
Hello and welcome to another episode. Today I'm with Parag Patel from Kids Nanny, an AI-powered parental control app. I'm actually really excited to talk to you, Parag, because I have strong opinions about parental controls.
Yeah, same here.
So can you tell us a little bit about your app?
Yeah, we started this application back in India and then we incubated in Canada. So basically, right now, our focus is to how to bring the parents and kids both on the same table, because otherwise, to be successful as a parental control app, it's not possible in this world. I do believe that's what our experience so far. So for that, what we are doing, we are prioritizing the privacy of the kids at the same time using AI. So we do not need to share the much information with the parents, and somehow we will be able to deliver the summary or the parents, what parents looking for. Let's say only just objectionable stuff to the parents, which even won't compromise the kids' privacy. So that's our motto. Our parental control app basically provides three steps. Actually, it's always any parental control app. It's about control, it's about monitoring, and providing the meaningful alerts. So as when you are, prioritizing the privacy of the kids, the monitoring going a bit lesser and the alerts and the control have a higher priority compared to the stuff. So we have a capability to, identify the objectionable stuff like bullying, sextortion, violence, and 3-4 more categories on which we have developed the model for. So that's the one part. The second is we have our own age-appropriate app database, which alert the parents about unwanted apps based on the age, kid's age. And other features are safe browsing, web blocking, web filtering, and all those are part of traditional parental control app. But the key is here the screen scanner and the WhatsApp sync feature, which we are providing, I guess.
I love what you said about respecting privacy, right? Because this is one of the things that I think is the bigger issues with how you manage parental controls while still teaching kids the need for their own privacy and independence, right? So how do you find the balance between protecting them and helping them still have a private life online, basically?
Actually, as I told you before, to be a successful parental control app, kids should be confident. Kids should feel confident about using our app. So first thing is the parent and kids should have open dialogue about it. And parents are the dangerous world, and this app is going to make you safer. It's not your attack on your privacy, but it's more or less, keeping you safe online, right? The second part, as I told you, how you are in our app, what we are doing is that we do not show all the data what we are capturing to the parents. Only the data get filtered out by our AI models, and only the filters parents enable. Let's say some parents are not worried about violence, but they might be worried about the bullying part and the self-harm. So they do have a switch. When they enable those filter, only those data will be delivered to the parents. So, by open communication, by putting the configuration, both the parties will be confident while using our app.
No, I can't say how much I love that. Yeah, I really, because it seems like a new approach. I don't know, you know the space of parental control apps better than me, yeah. But I've always said and thought that this can only work if both sides see the value. And that's the way I'm with my daughter as well. I have to tell her about the risks, and because I'm never going to be able to control where she goes, yeah. And I just love that. And especially that the parents can also decide what kind of alerts that they get. So they also have the independence as a parent. So, how has that gone? What kind of challenges have you seen from different parenting styles? When we were preparing, we talked about you're in India, but you prepared the app in Canada, and parenting styles are very different in those two cultures, right?
So as I told you, when we started this app in India, when the concept comes in my mind, because I am a parent of 2 kids, and I really from heart believe that this is the dangerous world, and I think we have towards something which may keep our kids safe, because you cannot keep them away from the devices for sure. So So initially we were more focused on the monitoring part. So how much data we can give to the parents that parents can look into it. And so it was more about, parent centric, because in India, there's three type of parenting. One is dominance parenting. I would say, I don't know the exact word about it, but second is that bit, open-minded parent who want to, have open conversation. And third are they are lazy parenting. I won't say that word, but the parent they don't much care about it. They are aware, but they just want to go with the flow, and they are much not worried about it. Yeah. So in India, parents are more authoritarian style of parenting. So they will force the kids that, okay, I'm going to install this app. Make sure it's don't get deleted. Yeah. That's how working, at least in India, as far as my experience concerned. But when we wanted to sell this product to the Western, or we want to introduce our idea to the Western country, so we went to the Canada and incubated in TBDC. But while getting all the feedback from the parents, we introduced around 100 parents there, and then we realized it's a different world altogether. So you have to bring both the parties on the table. It has to be privacy concern app. I mean, you have to be worried about the kids' privacy as well. And then we reshape our product, and then we come up with we are reducing the monitoring part of the application and more about, control and alert area we are focused and reshape our product.
This aspect of the being the kids, I'll just repeat it because it's just so profound, and what I don't hear very often is that the kids have to be on board. So at what point did you realize that? I mean, was it from the beginning, like in your philosophy, or was that also from the feedback that you got?
Yeah, of course, it was from feedback. We realized that initially the app was getting installed, parents were happy, but it was not lasting longer. I mean, after a week or 10 days or something, these kids will find it out a way to uninstall it, or they will find it out a way to have an excuse, right? They will say that my particular app, study app, is not working properly, it's getting blocked, blah, blah, blah. I mean, so unless the both the party on the same table, and I mean, it's very hard to get success in given world.
That's amazing. Is that one of the main issues that you have in behaviors? Because this is one of the reasons that I always say that, and now I'm going to say it differently, honestly, after talking to you, that parental control doesn't work because the kids always find a way around. That's what I always say. There was one parent who told me she's, it's impossible to keep the kids safe because they always, and her daughter has WhatsApp for studying. They give the homework in the study groups. And then she realized that her daughter was spending tons of time on WhatsApp. Her friends were sharing the YouTube links onto WhatsApp, and then she could watch the YouTube.
Same thing, actually.
They're much smarter than us, and they share amongst themselves. So that's a common behavior. So I understand your solution is that they both have to be on board. Are there any other common behaviors and challenges that you noticed that you help with your product?
Apart from the kids' behavior, I mean, we have also observed in the parent base different categories of parent behavior as well. So, as I told you, some parents are really worried about what's going on internet, and they know it's a danger place, but somehow they are not able to use this kind of product. The reason I believe that they believe that the kids might be respond a bit harder. I mean, they won't like it or something like that. So if we find a way to convince the kids to use it, that's the best thing which we can do, I think. And some parents are, as I told you, they are authoritarian and then push things forward. Those two kids. And in Western countries, we have, as I told you, we have observed this, we have interviewed 90 parents, 90. But out of 20, 30 parents, even they know everything. They know danger. They want to that kids safe, but they are not willing to use the parental control just because they are worried that the kids will respond harder. I mean, I don't know the word how to say that, but the kids won't be happy, and that the relation between the parents and kids won't be the same as before.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, I can see that. I'm thinking of parents. And in this case, I mean, have you found a way to convince them? Again, just go to the kids, right? And convince the kids you need controls. Is that your solution?
So we use a two different way. First, we convince the parents a bit harder that is really dangerous thing. And I think being a parent, we have to be proactive. We have to be at least if you are not monitoring, you should place a shield or the kind of stuff that, it makes sure you want at least not 100%, at least 80% that the unwanted stuff don't comes on the screen. Even if it's coming, that what kind of stuff kids are watching. Let's say recent news, if you're aware about in US, the 13-year-old girl take her life, right? Just because of she was getting bullied in school. So in that case, if parents have just kind of more, they were observing their phones frequently, or the solution like us, they were notified instantly. I think it's have a value. So convince the value of this kind of app. That's the one aspect. The second is that we need to think how we can bring the kids and have confidence in this kind of app. So what we have done is that kids can collect the points, rewards, right? And that reward will be used to get some extra screen time. So what we have done, parents can put the daily task like cleaning the room, cleaning the bed, or means whatever they are feeling, as a family. And if they are doing regularly, so our app will reward some points to them. And later on, they will use those reward to, use the screen time when the downtime is running. So it motivates them. They will have some reason to use our app. So by doing all those tactics, we bring confidence in kids as well. So
I've heard that before. Like I like that, the rewards system.
the reward system will help. If you see the kids who are really addicted to this screen, so we always suggest, not through the app, but whenever I have a chance to talk with the parents, I always suggest that addiction you won't make go away easily. So first thing, you have to put the controlling. You have to put the screen time. At the same time, reward it when they follow the rules. And once they do that consistency, the self-esteem will grow slowly. And once you feel confident, and then you may remove the control if you feel so. But initially, you need a control. There's no alternative, I believe. And the reward system.
Well, they actually, one of the reasons that they stay online is their reward system, right?
Right.
So if you do it in the other direction, that's a good one. Another thing that is an issue with a lot of privacy conscious people is with something, an app like this, what happens to the data, like the kids' data? Because on the one hand, you're giving your company, for example, a lot of information about like the kids. How do you manage that without naming any apps? Some of them are very well known, but also well known that they have tons of data on the kids, which, they don't abuse it, but could be abused, if it falls into the wrong hands. So how do you solve that?
I think this is the most critical aspect of any parental control. And I think it's that particular question need to be answered at most serious way. See, initially, the way what we are doing right now, whenever the parents sign up, each parent device will generate its own password. And that password will be shared across the child devices. It's internal protocol. And whatever the child device upload to the server will be encrypted using that particular parent's ID or parent's password, what they have shared, the secret key basically. So whatever the media we are storing, all are encrypted. And when the parents choose to watch it or view it, then the encrypted media will download it on the parent's device, and then it will decrypt it on the parent device on. So that's what we are doing. But still, you are playing with the data, right? And it's a cyber world. It's your system can attack anytime. So now what we are planning to do in a couple of months is that don't bring any data from the kids device unless it's very critical and you want to deliver to the parents. So what we are doing, we are developing on-edge AI models, which will going to run on the kids phone. So let's say our screen scanner feature, it's constantly take a screenshot of the kid's device and analyze it. And if is there any text or visual, which is objectionable, it will be notified to the parents. So what we are going to do is now we'll run a model on a edge device. It will capture, the captured image will be processed locally on the device itself. If it's that anything, even though 70%, then only it will leave the device and process from the server for a better accuracy. And then it will deliver to parent. So by doing that, we will collect as minimum as possible data. So that's one of the approach we are going to.
I love it. And I love you said this is the most critical thing of parental controls. Because if you go about this wrong because you're teaching your kids that it's okay to be in a surveillance state, right? For your own good. Yeah. And it's something that you're trying to solve with the on device. Do you have any other like stories or anything you want to share?
In our early days, when I told you that we are more focusing on the monitoring part, then one mother came to us and they wrote an email to us that due to your app, it saved my girls to fall in the drugs. That was our word. She might have found out some WhatsApp messages or the text, and then the mother acted and she felt that she saved her girl by falling in the drugs. That was the word we heard. So this kind of incident always motivate you, towards the cause. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I have one case I will tell you just a minute. If you see the child abuse material, child sexual abuse material, it's one of the key concern in the internet as well. So for that particular problem, we come up with the idea. So most of those material get generated from child phone itself. So we have find out the way how we can block of generation itself. Let's say you have a child have a smartphone, right? So most of the time, the material will be generated from the child's phone's camera, right? So what we are planning to deliver is that whenever the camera app comes up, our application always keeps scanning the screen. And if you find anything, you will block it right away. So even it won't allow to the capture generation of those kind of data. So the product called the WhatsApp Shield, we are trying to achieve the same part. Actually, whenever any media coming out of your kids' WhatsApp channel, we will delete it right away. We are just trying to find it out which really make an impact.
That's interesting, and it's hard to know what to say because that's such a complex issue, and a lot of this solution relies on somehow someone figuring it out and stopping it. Yeah, like Instagram and Meta was so proud of, are you sure? Before they're gonna send, and it's like, well, if they've gotten so far and they think they're gonna send a nude, then of course they're gonna be sure. So I like that. Yeah, you can't. They just don't have the chance to send it, or they're even if they're being manipulated, because that's often an issue, right? Then it doesn't matter what the person says to them; they won't be able to produce the content by themselves. Yeah, so I really like that. One thing that I am sure is an issue is a tendency to abuse or misuse the parental controls from some parents. I hope. Is that something that you've seen? Do you have that people will want to abuse it in a way to like control their kids?
Actually, once you are taking care of the privacy of the kids, I think mostly you have answered this question. So that's the one thing I see. And I would suggest when you prioritizing safety instead of monitoring, when your digital literacy, when you focus on digital literacy instead of restrictions, when you explain your kids that why you are blocking particular app, right? You explain the reason to the kids that you have to do that. But that's the way you can, distinguish the two different things. Overusing the parental control and, using parental control right way. Those 3-4 things, if you keep in front of you, then you will able to judge yourself that are you using it overly or it's the right way.
Perfect. And we're actually out of time, and I think that's the perfect way to end it, because exactly, you create a dialogue and you create mutual respect, and I also think that's the only way, because the digital natives, some people don't like that term, the youngest generations who grew up in the digital world are going to know more. They are going to figure it out, and it needs to be respectful. I love it. Yeah. And so thank you so much.
We are yet in early stage and we are keep maturing it day by day. And I would say get the Android one. We are better in Android.
Glad to hear it. I have Android. So usually it's the other way around. Like first they do iPhone and then thank you so much. And I really, I'm looking forward to more parents finding out about this. Yeah, because it's right in line with empowerment.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Digital Dominoes. We hope you've enjoyed learning about another piece of the puzzle that makes up the vast and complex digital world. Remember, You can find all our episodes and more at digi-dominoes.com. We're always eager to hear your thoughts, so drop us a line and let us know what you think. And if you've got an idea for a future domino, please reach out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, remember that each domino doesn't stand alone, but that each one has the power to affect the others.
Digital Dominoes.